Hello. Thank you for tuning into my channel. It's WIP It Wednesday for Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. So if you want to see what I've been working on this week, please stay tuned. This has been a very special week in my sewing room. I'm super excited to share with you. This is actually basically 2 weeks of WIPs that I've been working on. I have, last week I was home for spring break, and so I got quite a few things done. Also, if you've been joining me, I've been live twice, and so that's very exciting. So I didn't do last week's WIP It Wednesday, so I have to combine everything into this week, which is perfectly fine. So I don't really even know where to start, but I'm going to start here with the Trip Around the World quilt. I have, this is the block that I made previously. This was the very first block that I made for the Trip Around the World quilt. And then when I went live on Sunday, this is the second block that I made. Okay, so it was very cool. I had a great time with the live. Thank you so much to everybody who joined me. It was a lot of fun. So I created this block as a part of that video. And right now I have, as far as I can tell from what my estimates are, I have 14 more blocks that I'm gonna make for this quilt, because it's gonna be 16 total blocks right now using the strip sets that I have. I do have all of my strip sets put together here. Let me show you. And if you didn't get a chance to watch the live, please feel free to go back and check it out. There are 2 strip sets on the wall, and then 3, 4, it seems, oh, okay. 5, and this one has already been sewn into a tube. I just have to cut it down into the strip units. And then 6 and 7 are the sets that I used to make these blocks. Okay, so all of my strip sets are put together. These, the strip sets for these blocks they've already been cut into the strip units. So this is gonna be a gorgeous project. I think when it's done, I just have to get the rest of it together. As far as what else have I been sewing? I did a few crumbs. They're over there. Let me see if I can grab them. So I just took like one day and I was like, let me sew for 15 minutes out of my crumbs. And so I just got some little bitty pieces that I stitched together. And I might have done these as like leader enders or something too. I don't remember. Just to give myself a little bit of mindless sewing. Okay, so these will be the foundations for some crumb blocks at a later time. I don't usually take time for crumb piecing right now because of my other projects, but that day I was like, I gotta do something for a few minutes, so I just did that. And then, you know, later during the summer, I will probably get them out every once in a while and just work a little bit on them. I have my Pellon strip that I've been working on here too. This one is light fabrics. Okay, so you can see my little progress on this one. It's a short strip, so I'm excited about that it'll be done rather quickly once I start sewing things. So, like for example, when I'm putting these blocks together, I could use my Pellon paper foundation as a leader ender. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to think what else I've been working on. I'm gonna go ahead and put a snippet here of the heartstrings quilt so that you can see my progress on that. Here is my progress on the heartstrings quilt. So you can see it's all laid out here in our little, in the diamond configuration. Really excited about that. I stitched the first 3 rows together. You can see that here. And this is what I did. It took me 2 30-minute sessions to complete these rows. The first 30 minutes was just on the top row. And then I think it was the most challenging because that's the one that has all of the strings. It's just string blocks. And so as I was stitching those together, I took the paper out of the seam allowances. So that took a little bit longer. But the other 2 rows were not so bad. They were pretty good. And so the next thing that I'll do on here is just keep sewing the rows together during my 30-minute sessions. But it's very cool. I'm excited to see it come together. The most interesting part was how much it shrunk. I think I lost about 4 inches as I stitched them together. You can see that the difference between the 3rd row and the 4th row, that denim square that's hanging out. So I'm interested to see how small this finishes. I'm thinking it's going to be a twin, but it might be like a long twin. I prefer a big quilt, so it should be okay. Let me know in the comments how you think this is coming. Now, another thing that I'm really excited about is that I have a finished quilt to share. I showed it on the live video, but since I made that video, I've fixed that little repair and I actually washed the quilt. So the snippet that you're gonna see here is of a completely finished and washed quilt. So I hope that you enjoy that. I'm very excited. By the time you see this video, the quilt will already be with its owner, hopefully. I had to mail it out, so hopefully they'll get it within the next day or so. But I want you to see the finished quilt. I'm super happy with it, so here it is. I'm up on the step ladder so that you can see this quilt. Hopefully you can see it well enough. I am really happy with the way it turned out. I'm gonna step down and get a little bit closer so that you can see it. I don't remember if I washed the other quilts that I finished like this, but I washed this one because I was worried about the shape of it being a little bit too wonky, like at the ends. I don't know if you can tell that there's a slight wave there, and then there's a slight little wave up at the top, so it's not completely straight. But that's probably from the hand piecing. It's not perfect, you know, but that was in the piecing. That wasn't in what I did to it. And like if you look here, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little bit of like, I don't know, it doesn't lie as flat as we typically would like, but I'm so happy with it. Oh my goodness. It crinkled up just nice and it shrunk a little bit. And I think that is just perfect. So I want to show you the repair that I did, that I showed you on the live. If you saw the live, it's right there. I just kind of, I don't know if it's called a whip stitch. I just whipped over it with some thread. And there it is. And it looks pretty good. From here, you know, you can't even tell that I had to make a repair on it. Wait, I'm zooming in instead of zooming out. There we go. But look at it. It's so cute. I want to flip it over so you can see the quilting. Let me see if I do the whole thing or just a part of it. But you can see, I don't even know how well you can see the quilting, but it's crinkled up so nicely. There we go. So I did a meander stitch all over. And I don't know how well you can see it because of washing the quilt, but I just think it's so pretty. It came out, I keep putting my finger in the way. It came out great. I'll show you a little bit of a close-up of the quilting, I guess, here, so you can see it really clearly in the blue. And that pattern is all over the quilt. Okay, so really happy with it. Let me know in the comments what you think, how you think it turned out. as a result of making that commission quilt and going ahead and getting everything quilted, what I've done is I made these blocks as practice blocks. These are Quilt As You Go 9 patches that I put together before I would start quilting on that other quilt, so that I could kind of practice and make sure that I had everything together as far as my tension before I started on the actual quilt. Right now up here there are 9 blocks, and I actually have 4 more that I'm going to add. My original goal was to do 12 blocks, but I think that that's going to make a little tiny quilt, and I want my quilt to be a little bit bigger. So I may make as many as 20 blocks. I haven't decided yet, but I want to show you what I got completed since my last WIP It Wednesday. So we have this one here, and I'm going to put them all up, and then we'll talk a little bit about them. Okay, then I have this one. Let's see, put it over here. Then here's another one. Here. And then the last one, since it's kind of the odd man out, I'm not going to put it up on the board, but I'll just hold it here so you can see it. What I've done is I do 9 patches that have 5 darks and 4 lights, but then I also do the ones that have 5 lights and 4 darks, so that we can get the contrast. My goal is to have a look sort of like a chain, so you can see the color going through here and then the lights going through the other way. So that's kind of my goal with this. And also I want to do a series on how to join these blocks together. So that's where I'm headed next with this. But I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted you to get a good picture of it, even though they all have the extra batting, so I don't know how well you can see the pieces on camera. I also have an extra 9 patch that I made, and so when I get ready to make another one of the blocks, the 9 patch is already ready. I hope that everybody is doing well, staying safe, and that you're excited about something that's happening in the upcoming week. Leave me in the comments what you're working on, what you're excited about. I am excited because since I finished the commission quilt, I actually have another commission quilt in this box. And so I haven't opened it up yet. I will probably share it next week for WIP It Wednesday, because I'm going to open it and hopefully get started on it very soon. If you have any questions about what you've seen in this video, please leave them in the comments below. Thumbs up this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!